Pre-Safe is the comprehensive protection system from Mercedes-Benz. The supplemental Brake Assist Plus and the Pre-Safe brake help to prevent or reduce the severity of accidents, thereby protecting other road users. With pedestrian recognition, the Pre-Safe brake now takes on a new dimension. A stereo camera and a system of long, medium, and short-range radar monitor the area in front of the vehicle. The information is combined and processed in a control unit to provide early recognition of road users in the lane analyzed. At the same time, these data are used to calculate whether there is a risk of collision. If such a risk is identified, the system can provide visual and audible warnings at first. If the driver brakes, Brake Assist Plus ensures that the optimal brake pressure is applied, even if the pedal has been pressed too lightly. In critical situations, if the driver does not take action, autonomous braking may take place as necessary. The Pre-Safe brake with pedestrian recognition can prevent collisions with people at speeds of over 50 kilometers per hour. Moreover, the severity of an accident can be reduced significantly at up to 72 kilometers per hour. The active lane keeping assist prevents the driver from leaving the lane unintentionally in a range of situations, even in slight bends. Targeted intervention via ESP brakes the opposite wheels to ensure that the vehicle does not drive over solid lines. At the same time, a warning is displayed on the instrument cluster. If open lane markings are crossed, the steering wheel vibrates as a cue to steer in the opposite direction. This haptic warning is also provided before the braking intervention. In a new development, the system can also react if adjacent lanes marked with open lines are occupied and there is a risk of collision if the vehicle changes lanes. The system is active from a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. The camera identifies the road markings, while radar sensors monitor the traffic around the car. Traffic behind the vehicle is monitored by a radar sensor in order to warn of overtaking traffic. The long-range radar is directed at oncoming traffic. The short-range radar keeps a lookout when the vehicle changes lanes. If the radar system reports that the adjacent lane is occupied, ESP initiates a one-sided braking intervention that can move the vehicle out of the danger zone. At speeds above 30 kilometers per hour, the active blind spot assist offers additional protection. The radar sensors of the electronic blind spot check recognize when cars or motorcycles move into the critical area of the blind spot. A red warning triangle then appears in the door mirror. If the driver activates the indicator, an audible warning signal sounds and the red triangle flashes. If the driver starts to change lanes regardless, the one-sided braking intervention can prevent a collision at the last minute or reduce the severity of the impact. Distronic Plus Adaptive Cruise Control helps the driver maintain a desired distance from the car in front within a speed range of 0 to 200 kilometers per hour. These basic functions are now supplemented by the steering assist. Overtaking on the right can also be prevented. The new steer assist helps the driver by keeping the vehicle in the center of the lane, even in slight bends. At speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour, the stereo camera identifies the lanes and passes this signal to the electric steering. The vehicle remains in its lane and prevents the driver from inadvertently approaching the lane markings. When the vehicle is traveling slowly, the system can base its calculations on the car in front, even if lane markings are unclear or non-existent. The system is designed to be so sensitive that the sensors can detect whether the driver's hands are on the steering wheel. If they are not, it issues a warning. In bumper-to-bumper traffic, for example, when the traffic opens up, the system can prevent accidental overtaking on the right beginning at 80 kilometers per hour. To do so, the radar sensors detect cars driving in the faster lane and adjust the vehicle's speed accordingly. Below this threshold, the car can overtake on the right with a small difference in speeds. The correct amount of braking in a critical driving situation is one of the most difficult challenges for a driver. With BAS Plus Brake Assist, Mercedes-Benz has developed a technology that can enhance the braking force as soon as the driver applies the brakes when there is a risk of a rear-end collision. The newly developed Brake Assist Plus can now also help prevent or reduce the severity of accidents occurring in crossing traffic. A stereo camera and a system of long, medium, and short-range radar monitor the area in front of the vehicle. Critical areas include junctions at which cars and cyclists can appear unexpectedly in the vehicle's own lane. The data from the stereo camera and the radar system are thus processed in a control unit in order to check whether the crossing traffic poses a risk of collision. If the driver reacts to a dangerous situation of this nature and applies the brake pedal, Brake Assist Plus can ensure that the optimal brake pressure is applied, even if braking has been too light. The resulting deceleration can be increased all the way to full braking. With the assistance of BAS Plus, accidents involving crossing traffic can be prevented or their severity significantly reduced. The new S-Class features Road Surface Scan, a world first, which effectively turns ABC suspension into magic body control. At speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour, Road Surface Scan uses a stereo camera to monitor and analyze the road ahead. The exact surface contour is then passed on to active body control. This improved active suspension system can almost entirely compensate for body movements resulting from uneven roads. Within split seconds, the suspension is prepped for the impending situation in order to significantly reduce any structural movement. The result is unprecedented driving comfort.